Good morning, children. Welcome back to the class. Today's date is 26th June 2020, right? So today we are going to discuss the few important points from lesson number 1 and from lesson number 2 part 1. Let's start it. So the first lesson we have got is the lesson number 1, explorations, discoveries and inventions. In this lesson, we have learned or discussed about exploration, discoveries and inventions, the differences between discoveries and inventions, BC and AD, and a few everyday things that have been invented by children, right? Now let's move towards the few more important points, okay? So first we have got exploration. So exploration is searching for a place or finding out more about an unknown place is called exploration. And explorers are people who travel and find out more about a place. So the word exploration and explorer both are linked with each other. So without the explorer, exploration cannot happen. So explorer are the people who find a new place. That finding of an unknown place or more about that unknown place is called exploration. Now, Vasco da Gama, Alexander Hamilton, Ferdinand Magellan, Yuri Gagarin. So these are few of the explorers. Now, let us come to the discovery, the definition of discovery. Finding or learning about something that no one knows about is called discovery. So the thing is already present, but no one knows that it is there. And the person who finds it the first, he is, and that is called, actually the person who finds it then and there, then the whole process is called discovery. Then the process of designing and creating something new which did not exist earlier is called an invention. I mean, creating a new, totally a new thing is called invention. Then the measuring time in history. How do we measure time in history? By using calendar and timeline. So a calendar is a chart that shows the days, weeks and months of a year in an organized way. So in a calendar we have the days, months and years, that too in a sequence order. Sometimes they also contain information about certain events such as seasons and festivals. So other than the days, months and year, we have got few important things like festivals, seasons. Then other important dates are also mentioned on the calendar. Calendars have been one of the greatest inventions that have given us a common language to talk about time. Common language to talk about time because the whole calendar system is same, right? It is exactly the same in every part of the world. The next is the timeline. A timeline is a drawing of a line with important past events marked on it. A timeline shows the important events that took place in certain periods of time and the order in which they happen. So, in a timeline we used to mark the main events, right? And in an orderly way. We cannot put it in a this date here, that date here. No, we have to put it after this happened. On which date you have to mention it. Again after that on which date it has happened. So it will be a sequence, orderly manner. The timeline will be marking. We will be marking the events in timeline. Clear? Next we come to lesson number 2, that is our earth. We are going to discuss the first part of the lesson 2, which is our earth. What we have learned from here? We have learned the shape of the earth and its movements, why the earth is an oblate sphere, how we know that the earth is an oblate sphere, and comparing the planets in the solar system. Now let's move towards the shape and movements of the earth. So the earth, we already know that earth is the third planet from the sun and it is almost similar to the other planets, right? Now, do you think the earth is a sphere? Sphere means a round, a perfect round in shape? No, but it is an oblate sphere. It is flat from both the top and the bottom, and in the middle it is bulge, means bulging. That means to how do you say when we blow out the balloon, it bulges, right? That is what bulging is. So that is both the top and the bottom are flattened and bulge near the middle. So that is called the oblate sphere. Yeah. Now the earth moves in two ways, rotation and revolution. Rotation is the 24-hour system and revolution is the 365 1/4 days, which is the year. Okay. Rotation is the day, per day, a single day, and revolution is a year. So rotation is where a planet or satellite spins around itself. So this is the planet, right? It spins around itself. Okay. So this is the axis, right? It spins around itself. And the movement is called rotation. All planets in our solar system rotate. Then the Earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation. The Earth's rotation causes days and nights. So this 24 hours, in 24 hours, what is the difference we get? It is the, in the morning, it is from morning till evening we have the daytime, and as soon as the evening arrives we have the night time, right? So in 24 hours the difference is the days and nights. Therefore, this 24 hours of rotation causes days and nights. Then revolution. A planet or a satellite travels around a heavenly body in a fixed path. How? This is suppose the sun and the planets are moving in a fixed path. Okay, so they will be moving surrounding the sun in a fixed path. This movement is called revolution. All planets revolve around the sun. The Earth takes 365 1/4 days to complete one revolution around the sun. The Earth's revolution causes seasons and years. Yes, after completing 1 year, the next year begins, right? And in 1 year, what are the things that what are the changes that we feel? We feel that seasons are changing from spring to summer, monsoon, then autumn, winter, right? Therefore, these are the things that takes place. Therefore, seasons and years are the things revolution causes. Next, an imaginary line about which a body rotates is called an axis. Axis passes through the earth. Okay, so in this axis, the planet rotates. A planet or heavenly body has a fixed path on which it travels. This is called an orbit. So when during the revolution, the planet moves in a fixed path, right? And that fixed path is called orbit. Clear? Then the earth axis passes through its center and connects the top of its bottom, right? The diameter of the earth from top to bottom is about 12,713 kilometers. If you write 12,714 also, that is also correct. If you write 12,713 kilometers, this is also right. Okay, as it is according to your book. The diameter across the earth is about 12,756 kilometers. So, from top to bottom, the diameter is 12,713 kilometers. You can say 14 kilometers. And from east to west, the diameter is 12,756 kilometers. Clear? So this shows that because the top to bottom, the diameter of the top to bottom is shorter than the diameter across the earth. That is why the earth is an oblate sphere. So here we come to the end of our class and of our discussion. So please read the lessons thoroughly, read each and every point, take notes, and also read the workbook, the question answers, because you know how IMX question papers come. Then I hope you will be preparing well for the exam. Enjoy your vacation as well as take care of yourself and your family. Also, please prepare well for the exam. Clear? All the best for the preparation as well as for the exam. Here I end my class. Thank you.